All right, let's jump right in. You've all seen a chest x-ray, right? That classic black and white image we all know. But what if I told you that simple image holds a secret, a kind of forecast for your future health, hiding in plain sight? Well, today, we're unpacking a really fascinating piece of AI called CXR-Age.
I mean, just look at it. It's one of the most common medical images in the world. What if this simple, totally routine picture could tell you how old you really are? And I'm not talking about the number of candles on your birthday cake. No, we're talking about something way, way deeper.
See, this isn't about your calendar age at all. It's all about your biological age, which is basically the real-world wear and tear on your body. You know, it's kind of like the difference between two classic cars of the same year. One's been kept pristine in a garage, and the other's been driven hard on salty roads every single day. They might be the same age on paper, but their bodies tell a very different story.
So, the big question is, how do you actually measure something like that? Well, this is where we meet the star of the show, an AI that basically works like a radiologist with superpowers. Let's meet CXR-Age.
So what is it? In a nutshell, CXR-Age is an AI model. It's been trained to look at a totally standard chest x-ray and do two absolutely incredible things. First, figure out your biological age, and second, predict your future health risks. And it does it with some pretty startling accuracy.
And listen, this isn't some pie-in-the-sky idea for 10 years from now. This technology is moving at lightning speed. The core research just got published in The Lancet back in 2023. A huge breakthrough study followed in the Journals of Gerontology in 2025, and by 2026, it's already starting to roll out in clinics. That is an unbelievably fast track from a research lab to your local doctor's office.
And you might be wondering, who's behind this? Well, it's basically a who's who of medical research. We're talking about a global effort from some real heavy hitters, like Osaka Public University in Japan, the brilliant minds at Harvard's Marcus Institute for Aging Research, plus a massive collaboration involving Verily, Stanford, and Duke. Yeah, this is absolutely top-tier science. Okay, so you might be thinking, hang on, don't we already have ways to measure biological age? And you're right, we do. But here's where it gets really interesting, and why this X-ray approach is shaping up to be such a game-changer compared to the old gold standard, which was a blood test.
You see, the old way, something called the epigenetic clock, was kind of like looking at the blueprints for a building. It used a blood test to check for tiny molecular signals on your DNA to get a general sense of aging. But CXR-Age, it's totally different. It's like sending in a home inspector to actually check the building for cracks, for sagging floors, for real physical evidence of aging in your heart, your lungs, and your bones.
So what's the secret sauce? What is this AI actually seeing that our eyes might miss? Well, it's analyzing these incredibly subtle details. We're talking about tiny changes in the shape of your aortic arch, almost imperceptible shifts in bone density in your collarbone and shoulders, and these faint changes in the tissue down in your lungs. It's seeing the big picture by piecing together 1,000 tiny clues.
But how accurate is it? This is the wild part. In a major Japanese study, the correlation between the AI's predicted age and a person's real age was 0.95. Okay, so to put that into perspective, a perfect score, a 1-to-1 match, is 1.0. This thing scored a 0.95. That is just astonishingly accurate. It's almost perfectly in sync with reality.
But here's the real kicker. It's not just about being accurate. It's about being an incredible early warning system. The research is showing it's actually more sensitive than the old DNA tests, especially for spotting accelerated aging in middle-aged people before they even have any symptoms. It can literally see the smoke before the fire has even started.
Okay, so this predictive power is absolutely incredible. But what does it actually do? How does this change things for real doctors and real patients in the real world? Let's take a look at 5 glimpses into the future. 5 ways this is set to completely reshape medicine.
So this tech is about to make waves in 5 huge ways. First, it's going to make health risks way easier for us to understand. Second, it'll help surgeons plan safer operations. Third, it's going to find hidden diseases almost by accident. Fourth, it will turbocharge anti-aging research. And fifth, it will help doctors optimize their resources when it matters most. Let's break those down. Okay, first up, just visualizing your risk. Picture this. You're at a checkup, and instead of just getting a bunch of confusing numbers about your cholesterol, your doctor pulls up your X-ray and says, your biological age is 7 years older than your calendar age. Wow! Suddenly, it's not some abstract concept. It's real, it's personal, and for a lot of people, that is the wake-up call they need to finally change their lifestyle. Number 2, planning surgeries. This is huge. A 75-year-old could have the physical resilience of a 65-year-old, or they could have the frailty of an 85-year-old. CXR-Age gives a surgeon a much clearer picture of what a patient's body can truly handle, helping them make a much better call on the risks of a big operation. It's personalization on a whole new level.
Third, and this one is just amazing, is finding hidden diseases. Because the AI is scanning the entire chest area, an X-ray you got just to check for pneumonia could also reveal the early signs of something totally different, like fatty liver disease, or osteoporosis, or even heart problems. You find these things incidentally. It's like getting a free, life-saving bonus checkup.
Now, number 4 is a massive win for medical science: speeding up drug trials. Think about it. To see if an anti-aging drug actually works, you used to have to track people for decades. It was a huge, slow process. But now, with CXR-Age, researchers can see if a drug is actually working, if it's slowing or even reversing biological age in just a matter of months. And that 5th point, resource optimization? Imagine a huge emergency, like a pandemic. This tool could help doctors quickly figure out which patients are biologically the most fragile and need attention first, helping save more lives.
So all those applications are game changers for how we care for people one-on-one. But if we zoom out, the truly revolutionary thing about CXR-Age might not be what it does, but where it can do it, and for whom.
People are already calling this the world's most accessible precision medicine tool. And honestly, that is not an exaggeration. Just think about what that phrase really means for the health of everyone on the planet.
Here's why that's true. This isn't some brand new multi-million-dollar scanner that only the fanciest hospitals can afford. It's not hardware, it's just software. It can run on the millions of X-ray machines that are already sitting in clinics and hospitals all over the world right now. This isn't just a tool for the wealthy, it's a tool that can be deployed almost anywhere, practically overnight.
So here's where we land. This technology is essentially giving us a crystal ball for our own health. We're gaining the ability to peer into our future and see the risks that lie ahead. The question is no longer if we can know these things. The real question is, are we ready for what it's going to show us?